What's up, guys? Sorry about being so late this morning. My coffee machine absolutely broke down on me today, and I've been having to figure out how to make myself some coffee this morning. And so luckily I had one of those kind of old school things that like you pour hot coffee or you pour hot water in and then crunch it down. And so yeah, that's my morning this morning. My Keurig just broke down and went out this morning. I don't know what happened. It started smoking and blinking really fast, and so I've been having to make my own coffee somehow this morning, and finally got it working. So anyways, guys, not that bad of a day. Still a little slow, definitely still a little slow, especially in penny stock land. A lot of times the more expensive stocks are really the ones that are moving for the most part. Biggest watch, TORC. You can see this one's gapping up from $9 all the way to $23.85. So just a huge gap, big volume. NVRO, looking at this one, gapping up from $44.22 to $55. CODX gapping up from $3.37 to $4.28. CRMD gapping up from 28 cents to 40 cents. What's up, Mitch? Hey, I'm going to call you right now, brother. Give me 1 second, man. All right, so let me call Mitch really quick, guys. All right. All right, Mitch, calling you now, bro.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? All right, so we're on the stream. So Mitch is on the stream, guys.
What's going on? What's going on, fam?
All right, so got a few ones I'm watching this morning. I'll go ahead and post my watch list. Let me go ahead and add this. NVRO. I think I'm watching that one. IRBT. Yeah, IRBT. Watching IRBT VRAY. HMNY is moving some. I think it's a split though. Pretty sure it's a split or an acquisition or something like that. AWX moving some. Gonna watch that one. FCAU gapping down some. GM. RBTA. So yeah. All right. So this is that's basically my watch list. I'll go ahead.
I got one to add that you don't think you have. AWX.
Oh yeah, I got that one.
Got it. Perfect.
Yeah, from 335 to 328. So yeah, I just copied or pasted my watch list to the chat.
Yeah, let me check it out.
Yeah, watching AWX for sure. It's up from 221 yesterday, and so maybe a good little short there. Really the one I'm looking at is, let's see how many. Let me see if I can trade any of these first, actually.
Yeah, most of them are tradable. At least I can.
CRMD. No, CRMD's not. CODX is.
Yeah, cheap one.
TORC is good. NVRO is. IRBT is. VRAY is not. So that's 2. HMNY.
Hey, thank you, Karen, for the super chat. Appreciate
hey,
it,
Karen. Appreciate the $2. Really appreciate it, Karen. Yeah, I gotta turn my volume back up. Oh, there it goes. Now I can hear it. I really appreciate that, Karen. Appreciate the support. Means a lot. Really do. Means a lot. Appreciate it. FCAU is another one I'm watching. GM, RETA, MU. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the higher cap stocks are the ones that are moving this morning, and that's okay. You know.
I like that FCAU. I haven't seen that one, so that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch for a. Possibly watch it for a VWAP fade continuation short.
We should ask anybody with SureTrader or something if this is SSR'd already, because it could affect it on the downside.
Right. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna go finish. I actually haven't made my coffee yet, so hold down the chat really quick. I'm gonna go finish.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go get my coffee ready, brother. I need it, man.
Yeah, that's why I use my old school machine too, man.
I know. I'm thinking about using it. Like, we have this Keurig. My wife bought it, and you know, it just crapped out on us, and so like now I'm stuck. Like, I don't know how to make coffee. You know,
I got this little metal espresso machine that you literally just put on the stove, old school style.
Nice. Yeah, we used to have a espresso machine. It would like froth the milk, but it was just too much work in the morning, you know?
Oh yeah, that's too much. That's too much.
I just want to stick my cup in and get coffee, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'll be right back.
All right, guys. How we doing this morning? All right, my main watch is gonna be, like I said, on my watch list. It's gonna be CODX, TORC, CHFSI, here, PED, and CDMO. On here, actually, guys, I actually wanted to take a trade yesterday after we closed down. I saw a little drop in here right before when we were talking about it, right before we left. And as that drop came, it came back to the VWAP, guys. I was looking at a 29.30 entry. Would have been able to risk off of probably about 20 cents, 15 to 20 cents off 29.50 or 29.45. And this thing tanked down again. It broke through the support and just hammered down there all the way down to 25.50. Over $3.50 potential there. So this is definitely the kind of stock that I think works better with VWAP rejections. Bigger stocks I've seen do better with the rejections as their key levels of supports break down. So does anyone have a shirt trader that can let us know if FCAU has SSR on it already? Kind of interested in that. I can look it up, but
all right, I'm back.
In the chat.
All right, I'm back. Whew, man, this coffee's really not that bad. It's my wife's gourmet coffee. She uses one of those little pressers.
Hey, that French press.
Right. She
look
like
at TORC is breaking through that VWAP now. It's getting pretty down now.
Yeah, what's going on with this one, man? This one's going crazy. That's a huge gap. You know?
Yeah, I like it. This is what I want to see. I want to see it stay weak.
Right.
Stay weak until 9:30, guys.
Yeah, me too. All right, so sorry, just checking the chat, guys.
Put some wine in that coffee, man, like Sonic does.
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. I'm not a wine drinker, you know. I'm very I don't even drink that much. I drink like beer and like sometimes like Scotch whiskey or something, you know. Like that's it.
Seven knows about that percolator coffee.
What's a percolator?
It's just like one of those little old school little espresso machines. It's a little metal thing. It's really old school.
Are you talking about? I think you might be oh no, maybe not.
It's like it's just essentially you just putting coffee in a little like kind of slot in the middle, and you put water at the bottom, and it steams it up, and with the pressure, it just makes the coffee.
Oh, nice. Kind of like how MREs used to like heat water
they're like
up.
$5 or $10 at that.
Yeah, well,
they're really cheap.
My wife has one of those things where you pour the coffee grounds in the bottom, and then it has one of those like pressing filters that you like press it down, and it like what's the word?
That's that French press. That's exactly it.
Right, that's what I'm using.
Those are good.
It's good, man. I mean, right, it's good coffee, man. Like I was about to say, like it tastes like
using that. Hey, man, the old school methods are usually probably better for coffee because they use more consistent temperature.
Right, they're better for the environment too. I feel bad about the Keurig because that thing's terrible, man.
Oh, that thing's killing everybody.
Yeah. Anyways, AWX spiking up here, and it's tradable. So this one looks interesting now as well. I don't know about short, we'll see, but it's spiking up here. You can see AWX. All right, so let me go over the news. Let me see how many of them are tradable first. I think about 8 out of 10 are tradable this morning.
Yeah, pretty much a lot. We have most of our watch list tradable.
Yep.
The one that I couldn't add to the watch list that I do like, guys, if you're able to get shorts on, is AUDC, but I can't trade it.
AUDC?
Yeah, AUDC.
Okay.
It's a lower volume stock, but if you see on the daily, this is just way too extended.
Is that your TV?
Yeah, in the background you can hear it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'll turn it off. My dog is watching some animal show. He likes watching his puppies play around and stuff. So I'll go turn it down. Give me a second.
All right. Appreciate it. That's funny though. All right. Good morning, Missouri. Good morning, Schumann. Good morning, Callum. Good morning, Cool. Good morning, Lewis. Seven, Christian, Sonic. What's up, guys? Tiny. Good morning. Yeah.
All
Happy
right,
Hump Day.
guys. All right, I'm back. No, it's funny. He watches this show called Animals Doing Things with that guy Howie from Deal or No Deal, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
hilarious. He sits there and watches it for hours.
Yeah. That's funny, man. Dog watching TV. You know.
As long as it's dogs on the TV, he watches it.
Right. You know. It's got to be stuff that interests him. You know.
Yeah. Monkeys? Oh man, he was there just for a good hour.
Yeah. That's funny, man. Yeah, my wife's allergic to everything, so I can't have a dog. I wish I could.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, man, I grew up raising dogs. Like, I had a lot of German Shepherds and Labs and stuff like that, but my wife is just allergic to everything, you know. I'm not allergic to anything. My wife's allergic to everything, you know. So, sucks, but it is what it is. Did anyone short 10K shares of TORC from $11? Now I'm going to jump from the balcony. Man, Sonic, so
Attach
morbid,
yourself
brother.
Some string, man.
All right, so morbid, brother.
Save
What's
yourself
wrong,
at the bottom, bro. Bungee jump, so that you see the bottom, but you don't really hit it.
Yeah, for sure. Seven getting political in the chat, brother. I'm not even gonna go into it, Seven. All I could say is that I don't like any politician, and it doesn't matter who they are, you know, which side, anything. Good morning, Casa.
Just shows you games theory at its best, man. That's what I think politics really shows. Is that you know, strong arming people is definitely a high method used.
Right, for sure. Good morning, JT. Good morning, KS, D Champion.
CHCI has a low volume spike.
GC, James, Lindsay. Sorry, just trying to.
Short CHCI.
CHCI.
So let me take a look at it. Nah, it's not enough. But if it could get up there in the threes, then I'll look at it.
Right.
But it's definitely a stock that I short mainly all the time. You see it just goes up, straight down, high wicks, low bodies.
Lindsay says bull life. I want to start making a shirt that says bear life, you know, because like I don't go long, just bear life, you know.
VWAP fade, bro.
Right.
VWAP fade shirt.
Yeah, man. That'd be a cool shirt. Like have like the pattern and like candlesticks on the shirt. I like it, man. I like it. Good morning, GC. Abdul Grow. GORW. Not too bad. Needs some more volume though. JJ, good morning. No one FCAO. So FCAO isn't SSR. Can you comment quickly on V-Ray? Gap up this morning, low volume. It's been uptrending for days. Yeah, V-Ray doesn't look bad. It's gapping up over 10%. From 950 to 1090. Oh, it's not.
We're not paying attention to it.
Oh, that's a bummer, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's been uptrending. You know, yesterday was actually a down day, but it gapped up. So yeah, it looks okay. It's got a lot of support at 9. Can't trade it though, unfortunately. TORC may fade at the open. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's probably gonna. I mean, it's just up so much. I'll go over the news in a second on it, but it's just up so much. Yeah, I like the K-Cups because they're easier, but this French press coffee is actually pretty good. It's like my wife's thing that she makes like gourmet coffee with. And I'm more just like regular coffee, but it's good, you know. Good morning, Dan.
Guys, I'm loving the shirt ideas. Look out for them in the future, man. They're
coming. Right. Yeah, I like the pattern shirt or the Bear Life shirt. I like that idea. Watch, we'll see another YouTube make the shirt now. You know, shamelessly copy off of us.
Real quick.
Right. All right.
I'm sending the trademark in now. I'm sending the trademark.
Right. Yeah. Thoughts on AT09 T Raider? Who is that? Uh-oh. Good morning, Davian. Good morning, El Capitan. Good morning, John. Cola? You mean Coca-Cola, one to look out for. Good morning, Arian.
Coke is
Good
very
morning, Jacob.
cyclical. Goes yearly, moves yearly near the same time.
Right.
Just like Pepsi, um, just like a lot of the high Nasdaq stocks.
Yeah. I think a lot of time the big cap stocks are the ones that are really moving today. Um, it's the big cap stocks that I'm really seeing.
Yeah, the earnings
Yeah.
play, guys.
But I mean, there's some small caps.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think today is definitely better than Monday and Tuesday.
Right. For sure. I actually, yeah, I agree on that. Hopefully I can get a good trade in. But honestly, I'm actually happy with, even though I've had one break-even day, one losing day this week, I'm actually happy with how I traded.
Yeah, very small at the end of the day.
Right. I was very kind of safe with it. I got out a lot of times for right at break-even, and a lot of times after I got out of the stock, it would shoot up afterwards, and so I would kind of avoid this really a much bigger loss. And so I'm actually proud of how I've traded.
What'd you end up yesterday?
-5.
5?
Yeah.
All right, so, and it was one trade taken, so we can...
It was 2, so actually it was, at the end of the day, it was a net $11 loss is what it was at the end of the day, which is still fine, you know.
Yep, and with day one, it would be like 13 if you want to include that trade.
Right, so about a 13 loss on the week.
That's nothing, man. We're still ways away from our risk level.
Right. Yeah, a lot of stocks are tradable recently, Brendan. I appreciate the sub, Lucas. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, let's get it, Mike. Good morning, brother. So, yeah, sorry, man. Yesterday was my wife and I's anniversary, and so I was just busy all day yesterday, bro. So.
Hey, well, congrats, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. 5 years, you know.
Hey, that's nothing like it, man. Especially nowadays.
Oh yeah, we've been together for 10, married for 5, you know. All right, so let's go over the news. Good morning, Matt, Lucas, Cool. What's up, brother? JT, Corey. All right, so let's go over the news on some of these. First one I really want to see, I'm really curious about, is TORC. That's one of the biggest gaps I've seen in a while, just like an overnight gap. That's pretty huge here, you know. About a 300% gap, you know, right around there. So let's see what's going on here. All right, so first they released a press release that said they had positive top-line results for their Phase 2B trial. So good results. Yeah, positive results. It sounds like this is just positive results. So yeah, the results were they reported statistically significant 30.6% reduction in patients. And the lab confirmed it was with verified respiratory tract infections. As hard as that sounds. So, 30.6% reduction in patients with lab confirmed tract infections. And so that's interesting. So good positive Phase 2B studies for TORC. They still got a bunch of stuff out on it.
God dang.
Yeah, this is all just... This is all just recent. I think this is a recent IPO, though. Let me see. Yes, this is a recent IPO. Yeah, so this one, it looks like this one opened up on the 18th. This is when this one opened up. And it just recently started moving, so that's strange. Didn't move at all on IPO day. Very weird. So next what I'm looking at is AWX here. You can see AWX picking up some volume, and it's looking pretty good, I gotta say. AWX moving up some in pre. I appreciate the sub, John. Welcome, brother. Appreciate the sub, Sibby. Welcome. All right, so AWX. Nothing really out on AWX right now.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
No catalyst.
No catalyst.
Spiking up. You see the last couple of days what it's done when it does spikes and comes right back down.
Let's look at the daily really quick. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that.
364 is a huge level.
Look at this daily, man.
Yeah, the daily just tells you which way it's been traded.
Spike fail. Spike fail. Spike. I don't know. I mean, it broke over this. 350 is the next. Wait, where is it at now? Yeah, it's at 350. So 350 is that big support resistance level that I'm really watching. And then 364.
Big traders are watching this on the short side.
Right, for sure. All right, next one I'm looking at is CODX. So it sounds like CODX received its CE mark for tuberculosis test kits.
It's gonna be another one I'm gonna watch for the fade. Also, guys, it's been pretty weak pre-market.
Yeah, so they announced today that its Logic Smart NTB test obtained CE mark approval. So they received approval for its CE mark on their platform called Logic Smart. They received CE mark approval, which is a regulatory clearance for CODX. So interesting. We'll see where that one goes. Looking at it on the short side as well. Looking at CRMD. All right, so CRMD, a little bit cheaper of a stock, but it's up 58.6% in pre. It's up because independent data monitoring board determined significant and efficacy in phase 3 Lockett 100 trial for its biodrug Neutrolin. All right, so yeah, the board determined significance and efficacy in its phase 3 drug for CRMD. So positive results basically for CRMD. We'll see where this one goes as well. Also looking at IRBT, a little bit more expensive of a stock. It looks like an earnings play in all honesty, but it's up from $70 to $81.90. We're gonna look at IRBT now, bottom right chart on my monitor. Yeah, it had positive second quarter results basically for IRBT. Kind of looks like that. It looks just like that. You can kind of tell after a while. You know, especially with this is kind of what earnings plays look like. Yeah, it had stronger than expected results for the second quarter. It also raised its FY18 guidance. And so good news for IRBT. We'll see where this one goes. I think it's up a ton from 70 to 80, which is a pretty big percentage move. We'll see where this one goes as well. Looking at VRAY, can't trade it, but watching it, it's up over 10%. VRAY.
I probably am not going to take a trade on it, but taking a look more into HMMY, guys. That huge reverse stock split, which closed at about 8 cents on Tuesday and will rise to about $21. Guys, and you see in the pre-market, where did it go to? Went up there to $21 and immediately started coming down, guys. This is because dilution. It doesn't mean that it's going to go down for today, though, because what's going to happen is it's going to be very active with investors. But of course, if you see on the daily chart on a stock like this, and you see that every single time it's ever made its runs, it's always gone down. And then you see what's really going on here. Shareholders also voted to increase the number of shares of common stock from 500 million to 5 billion so that the company can sell more shares. So what does this mean? So this means that the company is trying to gain investors in their stock. So that's why the stock could go up today a little bit before it comes down, because they still have options to buy stocks at lower prices.
Interesting.
And dilution always means usually stocks go up a little bit, but the dilution has to bring it down.
Right. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. This one used to be at, what was it, 8 cents, and so
yeah,
this is movie. This is movie phone, right? Or this is movie.
Movie Pass.
Movie Pass. Right. Yeah. So, horrible company, I think, but
yeah,
you know, that's just my opinion.
Customers see a movie a day in a theater for $10 a month. The idea isn't too bad, but what it is just
the fundamentals.
You see the stock, it wasn't always a movie. It
Right.
wasn't always a movie stock. If you look back in their old revenues, they've just been trying to make different streams of revenue to keep the stock going.
Yeah, it's a shell. I mean, I don't want to say whether it is or isn't, but it seems like it's a shell stock. Like it's just a stock they just kind of use to, pump it up. You know what I mean? With different types of income claims. Um, so yeah, I'll watch it definitely. But anyway,
Yeah, last October, this stock was at $39 per share, and this was
yeah, I remember
before the
this one.
dilution, guys.
Yeah, this one started running up huge. I remember this one. I remember trading this one last winter. Now it went all the way back down to 9 cents. But here, let me finish this. V-Ray up 10%. V-Ray's up because it had good second quarter results that were above the street expectations, and they recently named a new CEO and COO. And so that's good news for V-Ray. At least it has a positive bullish outlook at this point. We'll see where this one goes as well. Also looking at FCAU. Mitch said this one looks okay. I'm going to be watching for a continuation short. VWAP fade possibly, but it's gapping down some. Sounds like this one's Fiat Chrysler. Yeah, so their second quarter adjusted missed what they were going for and the street expectations, but the sales did beat the street expectations as well.
Did it say anything about any guidance change or revenue?
Let's see.
I always like to look at the guidance. If they change their guidance, it usually helps you determine more.
Yes,
Because,
yes, yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, you're good.
Yeah, so it says FY sales guidance was cut to between 115 euro or 115 billion euros and 118 billion euros from about the 125 billion it stated previously. It also lowered adjusted operating profit guidance between 7.5 billion and 8 billion. So yeah, they changed that stuff as well.
Yeah, that's what I more look for when I read earnings. Whether it hit like expectations or not is important, but that's usually expected.
Right.
So what I look for more is their actual report on their stock, and that's more of their guidance. Them letting you know that, hey guys, we thought we were gonna make more money, but we're seeing it
We
that we're
didn't.
not gonna be able to.
Yeah.
Of course, that's gonna affect the stock on the negative side.
Oh, for sure. People, because I mean, people invest in stocks obviously to make money. So when a company says, "Yeah, we thought we were going to make more," or we thought we were going to do that, that's a huge kind of bearish signal that everybody's going to start jumping in, going short, start selling their long positions. You know.
Another thing you can look at is some people look for earnings. So if we're looking for expected and unexpected, you can actually see how many times that price was changed before it actually hit. So some people like to look at that. You can use finance, just MSN Finance or anything to find that on it kind of expected and then what actually happened and if there's changes throughout. So then more changes causes more weaker sentiment as they haven't been correct on their estimate. But that's just a different style. It's definitely more of an earnings play, guys. So we're going to be looking for it more on the technical side, but at least we know the catalyst behind it, so we know the macro part of it, the big move. But we're going to be looking for it more on a technical
Right.
basis.
All right. So listen, we got 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and finish the news really quick. Last one I really want to go over is GM, and GM is down. So the second quarter tops the views, but the company cuts FY EPS outlook below street. So kind of same thing. They cut down the outlook. Company stated it lowered the full year adjusted EPS guidance to approximately $6 a share, revised from prior guidance in the mid $6 range. So it's kind of the same thing of FCAU. I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. Try to go to the restroom before the bell rings. So Mitch, hold it down.
Yeah, you got it, guys. All right, guys. Guys, BLNK also in play for today, guys. Yeah, BLNK guys, check that one out, guys. Some pretty good volume there in the 370s. All right, guys, like always, we got about 2 minutes, a minute and a half to the bell. Start visualizing your trades. Try to always get down to about, I say about 3 stocks that you want to watch. When you watch too many stocks, you usually are not able to focus as much. So that's why I use more price alerts for if I have more stocks I want to watch. I kind of focus on 3 stocks and use my price alerts to bring a chart to me if it reaches those important prices that I'm looking for.
All right. So I'm back. We got about a minute left. Appreciate the sub, Dawn. Appreciate the sub, Richard. Welcome, guys. All right. So watching AWX, CRMD, TORC starting to tank. Look really weak in pre right now. I mean, it's already up over 200% still at this point, and so we'll keep an eye on it. Not a bad Wednesday, honestly. Hopefully the volume's back. You know, like I was explaining to somebody in the comment section yesterday how, you know, this week I was planning on using bigger sizing, but with the volume like it was the last 2 days, you know, it's all about account preservation at that point for me. And so we'll see how today goes. Looking not too bad in pre-market. Good morning, Matt. There's the bell.
Guys, AWX shooting off at the open.
Yep. V-Ray pushing up some as well. CRMD running up. I don't think this one's tradable. MU pushing up as well. AWX tanking some here. Just gonna give it that time. I mean, Adam, I don't really want to say whether it's long or short. I mean, I guess I like it better for a short, but who knows, man? It could push up. Need some more volume. Still volume's pretty low here. CRMD running up in running up at the open here. It's up to 44. Testing 45 now.
IHT going off on my high day momentum scanner and CHFS.
Yeah, look at IHT. Really starting to run here. Not tradable for us, but IHT pushing up. V-Ray pushing up.
HMMY just slamming down there, guys. Through the 14.
Yeah, CHFS doesn't look too bad either. But yeah, look at IHT pushing up big here. Alright, so here goes AWX reversing here. I'm really watching it for the VWAP fade at this point.
Yeah, I already got someone, a big trader, shorted up there at the top and took profits already.
Look, if it bounces to 450, or 350, I might jump in it here.
Yeah, they shorted at the daily resistance.
Look at IHT just tanking, man. Super sketchy. All right, there's the bounce to 350. I don't know if it was enough to get in. May have been a good VWAP fade, but yeah, would have been a nice little VWAP fade there. Ugh, kicking myself now. Look at that. AWX with the VWAP fade. Almost jumped in. I think I'm still a little apprehensive from this crazy low volume we've had, but
TORC, this spread is way too big, guys. I like it, but the spread was way too big there.
Well,
it was 23-cent spread.
Honestly, the range, I mean, I don't know if there's such a thing, but the range is so big as well on that thing, man. Like, I could get 10
you
shares.
have room, but yeah, you have to go very low share size. You got to know that you can risk about 50 cents.
Right.
And I didn't see that opportunity there.
All right, look, if AWX can bounce a little bit higher to this VWAP area, I'll consider it for sure. I don't mind getting in a small position here. I'm going to get in with 100 shares on AWX. Just 100.
Pay attention to CODX, guys. It's not a bad one right there, AWX 42s, but remember, it went above it, so you...
Right, I'm going to set a tight stop, probably 350s.
I do 51.
Yeah.
But it's up to you.
Right, yeah, I'm watching TORC. CODX needs to move a little bit more. The volume's just low here.
Yeah, I would only do it on a pop-up above 4s. Yeah, pre-market's where it's been at lately, guys. Things have been moving a lot pre-market, and then when the market opens, look at CODX.
Yeah,
there.
nice little fade there on CODX. Yeah, looking at that one.
Yeah. Still waiting for a bounce. I think it bounced to 4 before it goes. So I'm trying to let all the people that are chasing the bid hit down there and let it bounce to me.
All right, let's see if we get this bearish signal here. I don't really like that push up. Gonna let it test the VWAP one more time.
That's actually good pressure on the ass side, bro.
But look at this.
You just don't want to see it fill.
There you go.
The key is don't see it fill on that big sizing. If it's just pressure on the opposite side, that's fine. High day momentum scanner is telling me AUDC, guys. AUDC.
Here we go. Beautiful.
And I got my scanner alert there with you.
I got out for a $12 gain. This is the mistake I've been making. Beautiful little VWAP fade, but when I tried to get out, it was at 16. This is the mistake I've been making recently.
Yeah, rush into your profits, man.
Right, man. That's it right there. But I mean,
you're rushing to them, man. You're seeing green, and you're like, I need to grab it.
Right. I mean, I was up 16 with 100 shares, 16-cent gain. But you're absolutely right, brother.
Remember, this is when if you're gonna do 100 shares there, what's 10 cents gonna do to you? $10 loss.
Right.
It's not what we're looking for, man. We're looking to gain that risk. So if anything, you should have been able to maybe take 200, take 100 down here, and look for the ad. For the real win.
100%.
I think you you gotta start giving yourself room to take some profit.
Especially
there's no room. No 50 cents, 10-cent move. There's no room there.
Right, and especially with me taking smaller sizing earlier in the week, I have to make enough on my winning trades to compensate for those commissions. You know what I mean? And so I probably should have jumped in with 200 shares. I mean, the market's been really dull and slow. And I think it was a good trade, but I have to follow my plan.
Reward.
Right.
The risk to reward there was good.
Right, exactly. And I have to follow my plan here. Like, my plan is to take a partial. And look at this drop. I would have been up 20 cents at this point.
And then this is when, instead of, like, here's where you could have been just holding. Because since it never bounced to your VWAP for your ad, you could just been holding for a nice breakdown.
Right.
And it's only getting weaker down there. So that's what it helps there.
Yeah, for sure. FCAU bear flagging a little bit. Check out FCAU. It's not quite a VWAP fade. The VWAP's not close enough with it yet. But FCAU looking a little weak here. TORC bear flagging as well, coming down to the low. Oh, wait,
TEUM, guys. TEUM. $3 alert. That's what I would alert to. You can have a really tight risk on this stock, and I've seen a huge size up there at 304. If that share size gets filled, it should get a nice lift. There's huge sizing there at 304 waiting.
At this point, I'm watching CHFS for a bounce back to the VWAP. A lot of bear flags today, though. Look at GM for a VWAP fade, Mitch, if you like these a little bit more expensive ones. Looks like that picture-perfect VWAP fade at this point on GM. TORC coming back down.
A different one just from my VWAP fade scanner that we haven't been looking at. Let me see if it's tradable.
Have you seen GM?
It's RE. I'll check it out. It's a
General Motors.
Yeah.
But it looks like a perfect VWAP fade. I don't know if I want to jump.
Oh, yeah, that looks good. You got a double, about triple top there. Yeah. When you got that triple top, you can take the trade.
Plus risk 37.25 for your risk.
10 cents for a nice 30-40 cent gain.
Exactly. Good risk reward.
This is what we look for, guys. Risk to reward, guys. Look at RES, man. My scanner found this one. I just looked a tiny bit late.
What is it? REES?
Just RES.
Oh, RES. Okay. Ooh, man, look how weak. I like a bounce to the VWAP.
Bounce to the 96, right by that whole dollar, and slam.
AWX bouncing back to the VWAP here. But yeah, I mean, I got in. Let me see where I got in this one at. At 342. So I got in right here. Really good entry, I think. And so that would have been a 22 cent. I mean, yeah, I missed out on half the position. Bounce back to the VWAP here. And look at GM. Like I said, good risk to reward on GM.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
HM&Y maybe a little, it's sideways trend, so I don't like it as much, but it bounced off the VWAP as well. And MU, guys, MU, maybe bouncing off the VWAP for a long setup here on MU. BLNK. Andre, what's up, brother? How you been, man? Honestly, Andre, I thought about you the other day, brother. I haven't seen you in...
Guys, CODX, little squeeze there.
Yeah, BLNK. Look at BLNK, Mitch. But how you been, Andre? Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Look at FCAU. Bear flagging.
Just watching this rest, but never bouncing there. It just tanked down there. It's a great, great opportunity there. Amazing opportunity there.
Yeah, I think this is yeah, this is an oil and gas stock. Interesting. But man, look at TORC. This thing is looking super weak, man. CODX.
Torque, guys, at the open just faded and faded and faded.
CODX.
Still no bounce.
CODX washout long. CODX pushing up here.
Yeah, I'm watching it, guys. I wanted to see that $4 level, see how hard it was going to reject.
Joshua says, you never think about me. Hey, brother. I think about you all the time, Joshua. Don't worry, brother. Don't worry, man. But no, Andre's an OG in here, man. Andre's been in here for like the last year. Or he was. He stopped coming here, man. It hurt my feelings, you know. Sometimes I had trouble sleeping at night wondering what I did to make Andre upset and leave our stream, man. It really made me sad, you know. But no, I hope you're doing well, Andre. CHFS for the possible, you know, here's... So, remember what I told you the other day about the pre-market levels, Mitch?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of goes to show, look at CHFS. Kind of the same thing. Like, broke
One
through.
I was watching.
It has that fill, that space to fill down here. Under this, under 177 down to 164, 160. You know, and so that looks interesting.
It's not a bad one.
What's up, Geeth?
The impressive one was TORC also, just straight down. Straight down.
Failing here.
I could never get an entrance on this. It never bounced, ever.
Yeah, AWX was actually a VWAP rejection now that I'll look at it. Bullish trend up to 382 at the open, break under the VWAP, bounce to the low of the day, push back up to the VWAP, low of the day, break again. Yeah, I know, brother. I know, man. But yeah, TORC, I mean, I can't say this is unexpected because, I mean, I think anybody that trades momentum is kind of looking at TORC to fail at this point, just because it's up so much already. You know, it's dropped about, what is that? It's dropped a big amount from, it opened up at about 20, it's down to 16.27.
Yeah, the VWAP for me, it's all the way up there at 20.75 there.
Yeah, me too.
I'm looking at that one on a 5-minute. If it comes back to the VWAP, I'll look at it, but I'm just letting it go.
Yep. But honestly, today just kind of goes to show, there's been a few VWAP fades today, but it just kind of goes to show how important volume is with this.
AWX looks like it's getting hammered.
Yeah. Look at the time in sales, just red.
Yeah, that's what I look for, guys. If you see right before, it's like 330s, 330s, 333s, and then quickly, flash of red, flash of red, flash of red, flash of red.
It also means there's potentially shorters that could get squeezed out, though.
Yeah, the key is what happens is that they're trying to break that level. There's certain shorters that can add sizing just so it can break a level. You know, if I hammered down here, not through CFD, but if I hammered down there when it was at 330 and I went short 3,000 shares, I'm pretty sure I can knock it down underneath that 330.
I mean, it's also like one thing you got to realize, and I mean, not you necessarily, Mitch, but one thing people should realize is that it's kind of like breaking through a wall. Like, this thing has tested the VWAP over and over again. I really wouldn't be surprised to see this thing break above the VWAP and kind of push back up here, because it's kind of like breaking through a wall. You test it, you know, gets rejected, test it, gets rejected, test it, gets rejected. Eventually, you know, it could break it. And then once it breaks it, all these shorters that are piling in on each test could get squeezed out, and this thing could get squeezed all the way up to the 370s. It could obviously come back down as well. It just failed the VWAP again, and so it still looks weak in my mind. But the biggest thing you have to worry about with this VWAP fade setup that Mitch and I do is getting squeezed up. You know, is it getting squeezed up? Shorters start bailing out, and so that's the biggest risk. So you always gotta, like, when I'm in the trade, I usually have my hand over the cover button just in case I see that immediate squeeze on the level 2. BLIN.
All right, guys, looking at GM here, interested. All right, hammered down there at 37s. Off of 37.10, guys.
Yeah, looks good. You in it?
Yeah,
okay.
At 37.
All right, so yeah.
Small share size.
Mitch is in this VWAP fade for GM. Looking for it to come back down. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, Andre. Hope you're doing well, brother. Whatever happened to Dog, man? He had a baby, I think.
Yeah, Dog.
I forgot about him too, man. I haven't seen him in a while either. People come and go. People start trading.
CODX never gave us an entry there. It rejected that long, that red to green.
Yeah, CODX coming back down. The next level I'm watching is the low of the day break, but volume is actually kind of low. All right, so there's this push back down. We'll see if we can crack under 37 for you, Mitch.
Yeah, it's holding that. It's a real key level everyone's watching right now.
Yeah, so AWX getting squeezed back up here.
Nice. Watch it if the body doesn't hold that VWAP. Yeah, definitely more of a scalping environment, guys. So, you know, it depends on what trade you're in. If you have potential to hold, that's fine, but always take some scaling out.
Right. I agree.
Look how AWX, remember how I said it broke that VWAP,
there
but the body break the VWAP.
Yep, there
the body stayed below it. And that shows you that shorters are rejecting it right there.
Yeah, it had a few little VWAP fades, and this is the beauty about this setup, right? It has good risk
reward. All right,
reward.
guys, I'm out there. 12. Oof.
That's the squeeze we got to worry about.
Yeah, guys, you got to be quick there. I don't even know how I got out of 12 there. That was literally my hand on the button, and I just hit it. The only reason I got filled is because I had an order at 14.
Right. Hey, good exit, brother. Good exit, man. Minimal loss, very small.
One of the key things is, so I always set my order at that next resistance. I don't want to set it on the actual out that I want, because usually it's going to tap that number. And so I'm willing to accept 2 or 3 cents above that. But what I'm not willing to accept is me not getting out.
Look at that squeeze all the way back down to 37 too, man.
And you see how the body stayed under? That's a
Yep.
fake out.
Yep. That's just market makers saying, oh, people are short. Let me stop them out real quick.
Yep, they put a stop right there at 37.10. All these big traders that think that stops work there. And guess what? Stopped out, slammed down.
Yep. So somebody asked, new trader, what do you mean by scalping? So by scalping, we basically mean using decent size for very quick trades, right? And so it's just trying to take advantage of really quick trades. Like, think of like 20-second trades, 30-second trades, just in and out really quick using big sizing, trying to make a gain with a very quick trade. That's a scalp. It's just quick. Jacob asking, you guys buying GM call or short? He was buying it short. It faked him out really quick. But
yeah, it was still a good trade there.
Right.
It's a good level. It's just I wasn't gonna hold for 30 cents there. I don't think anyone will.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the level to short there at 37. It just kind of did a fake out. Like we said, market makers probably jumped and took those stops at 37.10. But you can see it, the pattern's there, guys. This is more of a bear flag pattern. And like always, guys, classic. Down one, up one, down two, up two, down three. And that's why we got this little squeeze here.
Really nice trade, JJ.
Then the move comes down.
JJ took AWX short at 330 down to 313 with 1,000 shares. Yeah, nice little VWAP fade here. Today's a short day for sure. So today's the day where you're going to see a lot of VWAP fades.
I'm watching to see if ENPH fails here. ENPH, if you see, it's actually down on the daily on the support there. It's trying to go long. But what I'm more along trying to see is if there's big shortages jumping in here at 650s, 645s.
Right.
So just to put one out there to watch, guys, ENPH is definitely having momentum for the day. It's over 1 million shares, which is one of the key things I look for.
So yeah, a few little VWAP fades. You can see MU, the tech stocks MU, bouncing off that VWAP really nicely here. And this is kind of the opposing side of the VWAP fade, right? Bearish or bullish trend, pull back down to the VWAP, dip back down to the VWAP, and then a push back up. Appreciate the sub, Nabor. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate the sub, Dale. Welcome, brother. Appreciate the sub, Rahiv. Welcome, brother. So yeah, today's a bearish day. MU looks interesting. Bounce off the VWAP. AWX was the short to take though. This is kind of that picture perfect VWAP rejection, VWAP fade setup we talk about that we really want to take advantage of. Got one move. Whenever I was trying to get out, I was up 16 cents. In this case, I only made a 12 cents per share gain, but that takes away my losses on the week basically. So break even this week. Hopefully we get better volume tomorrow. Today's not that bad though, really. We've got some momentum here. FCAU failing, looking weak. Bear flagging some, looking good. GM, we'll see if it ever comes back down to the low of the day here. FCAU cracking the lows again. Testing the lows. GM back up to that $37 point.
It's definitely getting shorted at that 37.
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of people are jumping in there. Look.
It's going to be a key level to see if it breaks through.
The only thing I don't like about it is this big long wick down here to 36.70. Like if this was the low of the day at 36.80, I wouldn't mind it. But this big long wick down here, it might be tough for it to come back down there and test. CHFS kind of bear flagging a little bit. CHFS. Doesn't have that much gap to fill at this point anymore, though, so I don't know how much I like it. 163 would be the level I'm watching for CHFS. Big level at 37 on GM. HMNY coming back down, maybe getting rejected at the whole
Yeah,
$1.14.
I kind of see kind of like more of like a head and shoulders for HMNY, but it's such a 1 minute pattern that I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Because you see on the 5 minute, it can just curl through 15.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of resistance at 37 for GM. It keeps pushing back up, testing it, coming back down. Pushing back up, testing it, coming back down.
I want to see if it doesn't get back above that 417.
There's a squeeze back up again.
If it squeezes back up, it's kind of going to ruin this pattern, and it'll start getting on the long side.
Right, for sure.
So that's what I'm trying to see right now. Because if it slams through like 1366, then I'll just start watching it to bounce near this level around the 1380s, and that way I could risk off of that last high, which was 1414
Right.
or
13.
1418.
Testing 13. We'll see if 37 holds a support at this point. It's back down to 37. Just getting slammed back down there. All right, so yeah, AWX was the play of the day for sure. IRBT, pretty big pullback here. FCAU just got hammered all day today. But yeah, today kind of verifies that like volume, how important volume is for these momentum plays that we use. Like the last 2 days, the plays haven't been working great. Today, when the volume came in, you know, there's a lot of good setups that have been
Riots
here.
up, guys. Riots up.
RIOT. There's the drop on GM.
Oh, I tried to get short there on RES at 1350. Didn't get filled.
Ooh, look at that VWAP fade on it, man.
I was looking for it.
There it goes.
Oh, there you go.
Nice little fade there.
I got filled at 46, guys.
All right, nice. Another bounce on GM, back up to 37. Slammed back down on GM, back down to 36.87. Some upwicks on GM, means some buying pressure or some selling pressure. HMNY, little VWAP fade there, looks good. HMNY back down to 1330s here on HMNY. CHFS bouncing back to the VWAP. Look at CHFS, Mitch. I don't know
Just
how I feel
focusing
about
on
it.
RES.
Yeah, I feel you. Squeeze back up on GM up to 37 again. Watching the level 2. Maybe consider getting in. I don't know. Level 2 looks weak. Some red. About even now. Squeeze back up to 37. Push right back down. The only thing with this one, Mitch, I don't want to hate on the trade you're in. I think you may have gotten in a little bit late.
Yeah, without a doubt. I was looking at it a little bit earlier. That's why I'm holding my wrist level a little bit tighter, guys. I'm not up there to the VWAP.
Yeah, I think 1365 would have been a good entry.
Mm-hmm. I think the 62s, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah, it's still not
I
looking
was
bad.
watching it. I didn't get there to that green candle. I got there when it started going on that red a little bit.
There we go. There's the drop for you.
There you go. Not just above 1350s, I'll get out, guys. This could just wash down, guys.
Yeah, it could down to the low. Looking good, brother. GM cracking on these lows here as well, down to 82, 80. Let's see if we get that wash down to 1324. Big level here. I want to see it hold under 1335. It's down to 33s. Looking good for you. Your entry's 46.
Yeah.
Nice. How many shares?
Just 100.
It's still good.
Guys, I'm gonna take half here.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. You can let the West work, see if it cracks those lows, keeps going. Look at MU. Wow. MU coming all the way back down after a crazy run. Looks like a McDonald's sign here. And yeah, you can see your GM trade would have worked out for you, brother. It's those market makers just kind of scared you out of it, but it happens. Your RES trade's looking good though, man.
All right, guys. Took half. Want to see this break down now.
All right, let me check back up on the chat. Sorry, guys. What's a good broker with zero commissions that allows shorting? The only broker I know that is zero commissions that allows shorting is Webull. And they're a previous sponsor of mine. But really cool platform. There you go, man. Look at that. Looking good for you, brother. Looking good, man.
Guys, I just saw the risk to reward in this trade. That's why I took the trade, guys. 50 shares left. Looking to take it as it approaches 13. But I'm paying attention to the level 2. If I see any green just fly through, I'll go ahead and I'll take the profit. What I'm looking for now is usually when you get that bounce, you get like a clean sheet of green on the level 2s. You saw some people were covering there some shares.
Look at the time in sales. A lot of green, brother.
Now it's right there. All right, guys. Gonna cover right here at 13.17. Covered out.
Good trade, brother. Good trade, man.
That's a
Beautiful
good
VWAP
trade,
fade.
guys.
Yeah, you can see the VWAP fade. This is the one. I mean, if you wonder why Mitch and I preach about this setup, it's because when the volume is good in the market, the VWAP fade can seriously be there. You know, like if you look at the 2 trades Mitch and I got, or the 3 trades I should say, I got in WX, beautiful little VWAP fade here twice. Wrote it down, profitable trade. Mitch got in GM. It ended up faking him out, but you can see the VWAP fade here. Bounce up to the VWAP, fade back down to the low of the day. That's what we look for. And then this really nice trade Mitch had on RES. Beautiful VWAP fade, bearish trend. Bounce back to the VWAP, bounce to the low of the day.
If I would have been earlier in this stock, this is what I look for, guys. I actually got my scanner to alert me at 9:37. Look at when it alerted me, guys, on that chart. Perfect time for that alert. If I could get it, even teach it to get me 1 minute before this is what I really want to find. These stocks that drop like that.
And look at that exit.
At 9:36.
Good exit, too. Look at this bounce.
Exit, perfect. 13.17, guys.
Really
Couldn't
nice.
Called it better.
All right.
CODX there, guys. Breaking the low there, guys.
Yeah, CODX, it had a flat top at 380. A lot of support there.
It still has a little gap there to fill. 1370s down to about 1350 or 1340s.
Yep.
I think it could go to the 1350s, but you still got a little room on there.
Scalped V-Ray, nice. Missouri, good job, brother. Appreciate it, Alan. Appreciate it, brother. Alan says keep up the great stream, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Working hard for you guys and trying to like really only trade the right trades for you guys, so you guys see that in the end it's about trading the right setups. It's not about, you know, whether you're just perfect or not. Perfect is not going to come.
There's no such thing as perfect in trading. Yeah, BLNK. I'm bummed out I missed BLNK. A nice little VWAP rejection here. Or a VWAP fade, I should say. But beautiful rejection. Crack under the lows. Down to 343. Not the best volume, but you can see it filled that entire up gap.
So RES is also the type that, this is the type that I really want to hammer down by the VWAP, because you can take profits on the swings to the support and then look to add for that nice home run. Like if I was able to have gone in at a 937 or even at the higher price, 1365s, like John was saying, you could cover half down there and you can look for an ad on that green candle. So that pop up to 1340 could be an ad for you, then risking off at 1350, and you could really get this swing down to $13. You know, the bigger trades and the bigger holds are going to do you right. The key is if you're able to take some profit off at the beginning.
Somebody mentioned AMD. Look at AMD, Mitch. It had a few good examples of VWAP fades here. This is kind of the VWAP fade.
Looking for VWAP rejection on Riot. $8 is an important spot right here.
Yeah, for sure.
This stock is very extended on the daily chart.
But yeah, AMD looks like a good VWAP rejection. Anthony, are you in it going short or long, brother? On AMD. Checking. Yeah, Leo, we're watching CODX. Gone short on GM, taking a pretty hefty position. Hey, I hope it worked out for you, John. TORC reversal. Short AWX, 321 average. Another red day. How you doing, Salty? Hope you're doing well, brother. Yeah, Nabor, however you pronounce it. Yeah, man, the only broker I know that offers zero commissions and allows shorting is Webull. Although to short it, you have to have a margin account over $2,000. And so, but they do offer pre-market and after-hours trading with zero commissions, and I have tested that, and it's pretty good. Have a good one, Tiny.
That torque today, guys.
Yeah, Daniel.
What an opportunity, man.
Daniel, I got you with the link. Give me 1 second, brother. Daniel's asking for the link.
That support was just, TORC going from 2091 support all the way down now at 1518.
Yeah, man.
It just never gave me that bounce to the VWAP. I would have taken it for sure as I saw it slam through the open. I was hoping for a VWAP bounce around like 2170s. I was going to risk off of 22, let it come down. Never gave us an entry, just kind of a slam down play. But it was what we were talking about pre-market. It was holding weak, holding weak, holding weak. And then people started hammering it pre-market, and so it never gave us a chance.
Yep. All right, so here's the link, Daniel, to the broker I'm using is TradeNet. They have a sale going on where if you buy it before, I think it's the end of this month, you get 20% off. So the package, the intro package is actually $399 when it's usually $500. So you get about $100 off if you buy it now. I do make a small commission if you go through that link, but if you want to help support the channel, you can. The biggest problem with TradeNet, and I'll try to be honest, and it's not actually TradeNet because it's actually Tefs. You can see on the left side of my screen, Tefs is the sponsoring broker. Is the broker that they offer you, is the partnering broker.
HMNY, guys, broke 13s there, guys.
I'm watching it
Key
down
level.
to 1286. But yeah, the biggest problem is that stocks with no volume, like stocks that come out of nowhere with no volume, a lot of times aren't tradable. I think they have to have 500,000 shares traded in the last 3 months. And so if the stock kind of comes out of nowhere with big volume when it didn't have volume previously, most of the time it's not tradable. And so that's something you do want to consider. But I posted the link in the chat if you're interested in it.
Guys, 630, an imported price there on ENPH. ENPH, there's about 5,000, 10,000 shares that went through there at 629 and 630. So what I want to see on this stock is actually test that shorter if it was a short. So push up there to 640s and fail.
Yep.
That'll be the third fail. The rule of three, guys.
It's kind of like breaking through a wall. Look at MU, though. Look at MU. Very strange pattern today, guys. Really weird.
That stock always has... I've seen a lot of traders trade this stock, but I always feel like I can't judge the pattern.
Yeah, it's just a weird pattern. Like, it looks like a McDonald's sign today. Like, it runs up huge, you know, which is big. This is a big run up for this stock. And then it comes all the way back down, and it's at the low of the days at this point. These are kind of the stocks that make me weary of trading them because you want to find reliable patterns. But
AMD does that one to me.
Yeah.
I think it's the high float.
Probably.
MU is higher float too, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it has a lot of support at 5250. Right here,
ENPH, man, it's starting to reject those 630s pretty tight. And if you look at the daily chart, we've got down on this stock. It's interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see if it has that VWAP rejection.
Yeah, I was watching when it was at 650, guys. Remember, I called it out earlier. I said watch those 645s, 650s to see if anyone's really buying up there. And as you could tell, no one was buying up there. It just kind of hung around for a second, then finally just came back to the VWAP.
Yep. All right, so hopefully we get some more volume like this tomorrow. I mean, today hasn't been too bad, like, relative to the rest of the week. Yeah, the chip sector all over is tanking. That's what it is. NYC, appreciate that.
The what section?
The chip section, the microchip section is basically.
Microchips?
Yeah. AMD, MU, you know. AMD and MU, they're both tanking now. But we had a few little VWAP fades today that looked really good. GM was one. So you can see it's not just necessarily low float penny stocks that happen with it. GM had a nice little VWAP fade here. Currently still washing. AWX, really nice VWAP fade there. That's the one I took advantage of. PES.
That GM chart just shows that price, man. At 37, guys.
Oh, yeah, man. PES, Mitch's really nice VWAP fade there. Or no, what was it?
RES.
Yeah, RES. Mitch's really nice VWAP fade. Perfect example of it. And Mitch traded it perfectly. You know, got in. I mean, the only problem is he didn't...
chased it a tiny bit,
yeah.
But I knew the level that I was willing to risk off of, guys. That's really the key. I tried to get in there at a little bit better price, 1350s, but never got filled on that breakdown. The real key to this stock is that I was expecting one more attempt, And if it could have pushed to that VWAP, you know, I would have pushed in with more size.
Look at the SPY too. The SPY's doing what the microchip stocks are doing. Ran up,
Yeah.
coming all the way back down.
And that tells you a lot, guys. That okay, so that means that the SPY's following the sector a lot. So bigger traders actually really pay attention to this. They'll start watching to see if the SPY will spike compared to the other sector.
Right.
So they'll have multiple of those stocks and they'll have the SPY on the side and just kind of watch to see how's it going together. It's kind of like what I did for IQ and Huya, is look at them at the same thing because they're the same sector. A lot of times, especially these bigger stocks, same sectors, they move the same way.
Yeah, look at MU here. MU's kind of, you know, this is, like I said, it has a lot of support at 52.50 and it's testing it now. And so if it cracks under 52.50, I mean, it could wash, it could bounce as well though, since it does have a lot of support there. So we'll see, but it's testing it now. Yeah, it kind of goes to show how important volume is with this setup, Mitch. Today's kind of a little bit of eye-opening with it because it's like the last 2 days the setup just hasn't really been there because the volume is low. But when we get good volume, you know, the setup's there. We just got to get ready to take our swings when the volume is good like this.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure, Matt. Matt says, I would say buy AMD at a discount, but earnings after the bell might be risky. This price is a huge discount. Yeah, you never know with earnings. Like, if you get in a stock before earnings are released, it's kind of like flipping a coin. It could work out really well for you. It could work out pretty terribly for you as well. So, you know.
Yeah, I call that let Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah. Look at GM, though, bouncing back almost to that $37 level.
Just take the wheel, man. Take the wheel. All right, guys, watching Riot here, guys. It's a good level right there. 803 off of 810s, 812s. It was a perfect entry. I just never was able to hammer on it.
For short?
Yeah, it's rejected that long one more time, 815s. You can start seeing the pressure. It was down here in the earlier, that $8 break when it just broke down through the VWAP. And it tried to run long again, got rejected there at the 1815s. And got hammered down there through the 1810s. Then 804 was probably about where I would enter so that I could risk off of that last high, 1815. You break the 8s here, you'll probably get down to 790s, and you'll start looking really bearish more for the day. For sure. It's a little bit earlier than the VWAP rejection, but it's more along the stock has attempt to go long once, twice, 3 times, and then failed a little bit. Tempted to go long again to reverse it and just couldn't get up past that 1815 level.
Yeah, for sure. CETX, a few people mentioning CETX. I really don't like this one just because the volume is just so low right now. It's just, there's just no volume. It spiked right here, but the volume is just so low. It got rejected at this pre-market high at 220 as well. So spready, no volume, had one volume spike, but it's slowed down since, so just don't trust it. It could get hammered down, it could run up, you never really know. There's another little...
Fiat's getting hammered, guys. If you really think about it, for the daily, this stock tends to pretty much stay in a range. It's still really getting hammered down.
It is at $17.
I wouldn't take it down here, but it's when you think about essentially where this stock is. I'm gonna be watching this more on a daily. Long-term investors definitely watching that.
For sure.
Definitely probably has to do with some political pressures from trade wars.
GM bouncing back for another little VWAP fade there.
It's funny, GM and Fiat down at the same time.
Yeah.
What you want to see is where their revenues are coming from, and a lot of their revenues come from China.
Let's see. EKSO kind of slowly pushing up. NVRO ran up nicely. NVRO ran up today. V-Ray looked good here. V-Ray had a few little VWAP bounces there, riding the VWAP all day today. A bunch of good entries. This is kind of the opposing side of this is kind of like the opposite of the VWAP fade, the VWAP bounce. Bullish trend, bounce off the VWAP, push back up, bounce off the VWAP. This is one I want to back test a lot just because I see this happening.
You want to see one that's beautiful, man? That I had a feeling way in pre-market, I just couldn't trade it.
Sure.
AUDC. I called it out. I wish I could trade it. I was looking at, I like hit it 3 times to see if I could trade it.
Nice little VWAP projection.
You see, it slammed down there at the open. It's a fade.
All right.
Just goes right up to 932, comes right back down to that support, 909, then breaks it, comes down to 894, bounces a tiny bit, and hangs around there. You could still be in it looking for this $9 breakdown.
Yep. IHT looks like a chat room pump.
I found out that BBOX yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw that when it run. That was definitely a chat room pump.
BBOX?
Yeah, it did a quick run. I think it even halted.
Right before the close?
Yeah, hey guys, look at Riot. Perfect there, guys. Look how it bounced. What price did it bounce to? 804, guys.
Yep.
804.
Hey, you were spot on with that one, brother. VWAP
Yeah,
projection here.
I could see it on the level 2s, guys. That's what really told me there. It really wasn't more of a straight pattern play until it breaks $8, and then it's a rejected long. But that's exactly what I look for. A nice washout before the VWAP rejection.
Looks good, man. And now we'll see, like, preferably, we'll see if we get a bounce back up to the 797, 795 level. I think that's when a lot of shorters are going to start packing in. It also may find some resistance here, though, at 790. It had some there previously, so we'll see that as well. MU?
I think the safe entry for Riot, if you do short it now, has to be 8. 8
Yeah.
on the dot or above 8. I wouldn't take anything under 8 just because the bounce is going to be to 810, and I don't think you're going to be wanting to hold 15 cents on a stock that has a potential to make you about, from where it is, 10 cents down, 18 cents down at the complete bottom.
Yep.
So your risk has to be a little bit shorter. It should be about 5 to 10 cents.
Really curious to see where MU goes from here. I mean, it continues to test that low of the day and that low of pre-market, which is at 52.50. And, I mean, it continues to find some support here. I could see it going either way. If it cracks under 52.50, I definitely see it continuing. But you never know. It could bounce really nicely here. It's got a lot of support. It could bounce up to 53. And then maybe a good little VWAP fade there. We'll see. But watching MU, there's the crack under the 52.50 level. We'll see if it holds under there.
GM looks like it's gonna pushing on those 36.50s.
I know, man. It continues to have that VWAP fade, and that's what I was saying earlier. It just kind of goes to show that it's not just cheap penny stocks with the VWAP fade. It's a lot of stocks do it. It's not just cheap low float stocks.
I've honestly seen from my experience they even actually work better for the bigger stocks. The key is it has to be a clean chart,
Right.
But there's a lot of traders that hammer this specific strategy for bigger stocks.
Right. I mean, the big thing here is, the biggest thing I've noticed is that it's all about, like, one thing that I haven't been using to analyze the VWAP fade as much is the pre-market levels, and I think they're extremely important. Like, you can see the whole reason AWX washed here was because it broke under all of this support and resistance at 325 or 320, and once it cracked under there, that area's been holding as resistance. And so interesting here. Also, MU ended up cracking under that low of the day at 52.50. We'll see where it goes from here. Appreciate the sub, Harshita. Appreciate it. Appreciate the sub, Lost Youth. Appreciate it, guys. But GM getting hammered here.
Just a stock I'm looking at because there's a huge shadow gap that it can fill is DVAX.
DBAX.
Yeah, this is my VWAP fade alert scanner trying to let me know that it's broken a 5-minute low at 14, and
The volume though, man. The volume is just so
It's
low.
too slow.
Yeah.
It's one of those, you saw that big volume there at 120, at 1020 or 1019, a huge candle there. So
Look,
what I want to see with this one is a big breakdown through 14, a wash. Then if I get that wash, I'll start looking for the bounce up to hold that 14 as a resistance. It's one of those stocks that you can't react too quickly, but the chart's there. So let the actual pattern start telling you that it's in play. You know, it's one of those I'll just keep to the side right now, and I'll look to see if it really cracks down at 14. If there's another 129,000 shares that go through there at 14, there's someone really big trying to hammer this down. And I see the gap. I always, like we talked, if there's a gap to fill, it could fill that gap. And that gap comes down all the way to 1105 or 1080.
look, there's the VWAP projection on the RIOT. Let's see if it cracks under here.
Yeah, guys, that 804.
I'm also
That was a spot. I should have just stayed with it and watched for that bounce to 804 and got in there because I couldn't get the actual spot when I went to the price. I was looking at the level 2. I wasn't having my hand over the sell button.
yeah.
So I wasn't able to move and set the price. I don't have a hotkey to hammer down on the short side.
Yeah, I don't use hotkeys. I'm just not. It's all about like trading. I think a large part of trading is comfort, your comfort level, right? And so I try to do as many things to make me as comfortable in the trades as possible, right? One of the things is that I use Thinkorswim for charts, just because Thinkorswim charting is what I have used since the beginning, and so I'm the most familiar with Thinkorswim charts, and so I think that actually helps a lot. Just being familiar and comfortable with the charting you're using. If it's like a foreign charting software like TEF's, like the TradeNet's partnering broker TEF's charting. I'm not saying I'm not hating on TEF's charting because I actually think they're good charting, but Thinkorswim is just what I'm the most comfortable with, you know. I'm also looking at FCAU fiat here for a bounce back down, kind of a bounce up to the VWAP here, maybe a VWAP fade.
Yeah, just be careful with the bigger stocks in the afternoon. They tend to hang around in the afternoon.
For sure.
I had a nice VWAP rejection. We got a pattern that's hanging around the VWAP, rejected down, came back to the VWAP, slammed down.
This is one that kind of
bounce.
You find stocks that the pattern works so much. Look at HM&Y really quick. HM&Y coming back down.
Yeah, I'm letting that one go, guys. I already missed that one. So it's something that we talked about, guys. The dilution. There's no way that this stock's gonna get back to $21. And if it does, it's just complete artificial. So that's one of the key things. You got to know how much you're willing to invest. And this is why sometimes it's good to get in pre-market. This stock, pre-market, you would have been able to get any shares.
Yep.
You see it when the market opened, how much has it really been? It's just been stuck more in like a little bit of a range. It's going downwards. But if you see it compared to the pre-market, the pattern's a little better pre-market than it is during the real market.
Look at CHFS for a beautiful VWAP projection here. Beautiful VWAP projection. This is kind of that VWAP projection setup I talk about, but beautiful example of it. I don't know if it's going to keep going, and the range is still pretty small with the stock. Today, it only has about a 20-cent range, but it looks good. Little VWAP projection here. It needs more volume, but watching it, I really want to go, I think my next walkthrough video, and I hope you guys have been enjoying those walkthrough videos I've been putting out. I kind of like the format a little bit. I think it's a good format, kind of easy and a clean format. And so the next walkthrough I'm going to be doing is on this VWAP bounce setup, because I see it happening a decent amount. I'm going to try to back test that some and then put out, if it's viable, put out the walkthrough video on that. SCON, GST. No volume for SCON, just don't like it. GST's too cheap for me to short. I really don't like shorting stocks. One thing, the reason I don't short stocks under $1 is because whenever I would go long, a lot of the times my best long setups were on cheap stocks. Like my go-to long setups were like on stocks in between like 75 cents and like $1.10. Like I would, I would hammer down on those, or hammer those long setups, and just do really well with those long setups. And so I just think cheaper stocks especially have more momentum to the upside, at least under $1 stocks, especially like $11 stocks, because if you think about it, it only has so much potential on the short side just because it's so cheap. So for instance, GST only has 11 cents, like all in all, to make on the short side. And so plus there's also the risk of these really cheap stocks getting delisted and stuff like that. And so just as a rule that I made a while back, I just don't like shorting stocks under $1.
GBR guys going off, guys. It's probably a pump, so just be careful, guys. If the safe level is at $3, 280, I see the bottom.
GBR?
Yeah, there's the pump. Boom.
Ooh, man.
Went from 305 there, 320s there, like really quickly.
Yeah, GBR.
Up there to 315.
Really good call. That thing had a nice little volume spike there, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this one run for the rest of the day. Not necessarily continuing to go up, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a few bull flags here. It all depends.
The spike could be strong there, guys. You see the next resistance up there to above $4 there, guys. So the risk to reward is there. Like I said, your entry has to be near to $3 because the ultimate risk down, the flush is 280. That's where you see it. And I see the 9 EMA way behind, guys. 9 EMA is at 296.
Gabriel asked, how do you guys know it's a pump? I mean, we don't. It's all speculation. Everything in the stock market's speculation. But there's some very obvious, signs that it's a pump. Most of the time up on zero news is probably the biggest sign. If it's up 300% and there's no catalyst, I'd say probably a large majority of the time it's getting pumped up by somebody. We don't know who. Could be getting pumped up by a chat room. It could be getting pumped up by insiders. It could be getting pumped up by whomever. But that's usually the biggest sign, is up a huge amount with zero catalyst.
RES is getting interesting, but not sure if I want to go and try to hammer the stock again. But definitely looks down for the day. I don't see it coming back above that.
Nice, Anthony. At 1641 on AMD. You going short, brother? On AMD? If you're going short, that's a really good short entry, bro. Yeah, if you're going short, that's like the perfect short entry, really, on this bear flag right here.
What does he have?
I'm not sure. He said AMD in at 1641. Oh, actually, yeah, 1641. Hold on. I think he's talking about AMD. No. Wait, let me see.
Did he top ticket? He's a fucking pro.
In BBOX, I'm not sure if he's talking about AMD or what, or BBOX. Yeah. I think it's AMD. That's the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah. RES is calling my name, but I'm not sure if I want to take the risk again.
Yeah, man. I mean, it had that beautiful VWAP fade once already. Kind of the picture-perfect example of it.
I want to see it get to VWAP and start failing. So I'm looking for the volume, important volumes at that level. Just like AMD is kind of hitting that 16 at the VWAP, guys. Look for that important levels. Important levels, guys.
So I think it's
and the share size going through there.
I think it's all about risk to reward at this point. I think you could set your risk at there's two places. You could set it at 1370. If you get it at 1350, that's a 20-cent risk. Or you could set it a little bit tighter at 1352 here, which gives you a much tighter risk area, but you're also going to get stopped out a lot more. So if you set it at 1370, 20-cent risk, you can set your potential reward down to 1312 for a, 30-cent reward. So 1.5 to 1 reward to risk. So not too bad. It also may bounce at 13.
Up. Yeah, I want to see it attempt up one more time. I did like those 1350s. The risk was off 69, like you said. 69.70. So wasn't enough there. So I'll look for a bounce again, tightening up a consolidation area and it's still weak. You know, what I'm looking for is volume, really, guys. Just like we got volume when it bounced up there and then it hammered down through that 1350. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I missed FCAU.
AMD rejected 16 pretty hard there, guys. It's not really my kind of trade, but if you guys are in that trade, it definitely does still look like a bearish trade. I always seen AMD kind of stick in a range for a little while and then it breaks out. It's a little bit tough trade.
One of the ones I called out this morning or a few minutes ago, was FCAU for that bounce VWAP fade. And this was a beautiful example of it. Didn't quite get as high as I would have wanted, but very obvious kind of bear flag VWAP fade setup down to 1711 now. I remember I drew the little charting, said this looked like good risk to reward here. Risk at between 1720 and 1730, and then reward between 1725 or between 1724 and 17. So good risk to reward there for FCAU. Looks like it would have worked out, but
that one's a little tight, I think. The problem with that one is that you have to short off the VWAP or that last resistance, which is 32. It doesn't even get up to the VWAP. I think you're cutting yourself a little bit tight on the strategy if you start trying to take those as VWAP rejections.
For sure.
It's just going to be something that you got to try to remember. It's a VWAP rejection, not just a rejection of a price.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't try to make too many trades with this strategy. The strategy should only specifically be, especially a VWAP fade in the early to probably from 9:30 to about 9:50, I think is going to be the limit. And then from there on, what you're looking for VWAP rejections. I only like to play VWAP rejections on more long plays that have failed to go long.
Right.
And this is more of a VWAP rejection. We're not at 20. That move was at 1020s, and so it's rejecting levels that are resistance. And you can short off those levels. It's not nothing wrong with that. But you're not having more of a strategy play there. You're more doing a level 2 rejection play there, a price action rejection of that 726, 725 area, and it holds consolidation, breaks down through 1721.
Right.
I just, it's not a bad trade, but it's not a trade I would take over and over again.
I get it. No, I completely understand that. Look at AWX is starting to spike up here.
GBR is still hitting hard, guys. I brought it to you early there, guys.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. I could see this one coming back down. This is that VWAP bounce setup that we always talk about. And I've said it in an earlier video. The more setups that are going on simultaneously, the more momentum that setup's ultimately going to have. And so you could see it pushed over 3, and then it pulled back down to the whole dollar of 3 and the VWAP. The VWAP was at 298. 295, and the whole dollar was at 3, and so it has double the support underneath it, and so you can see it flags up for a really nice bull flag and pushes it up to 340. That's a setup I want to try to get into more, and I think that's kind of the next route I'm going to take with back testing a setup, is because I think that probably has the best, risk to reward with those type of setups. With regard to FCAU fiat here, I completely understand wanting it to bounce more to the VWAP. I think the only way to approach this setup, Mitch, is to start scaling in slowly and take a small position, just a starting position, down to at around that 1720 level, and then plan to add if it gets up to the VWAP with a much tighter risk area. I think that's a good way to kind of approach FCAU and try to just kind of slowly add more risk to the trade as it gets closer and closer to the VWAP. And that way, if it does end up coming back down, you still have a position that you can take advantage of. But if it does bounce a little bit higher, that's when you can kind of get in with a little bit more risk and set a tighter stop, if that makes sense.
There you go. Great job, NYC.
Nice. Good job. Awesome. I really like the pattern for GBR.
That's why I try to let you guys know it early, and I'm always going to at least tell you guys where I see the ultimate bottom price, And that's what I learned as a long trader. With long momentum, you really have to see the complete bottom to understand your true risk in a trade. Like this stock, it's where the momentum starts. That's where I consider the ultimate bottom. So the momentum really started through 280s in this price in GBR, and then it made a run all the way up to 320s. That's the momentum run right there. So then that's when sizing gets in through there, through those 290s, $3, and then it starts pumping up there, guys.
Yep, yep.
And then the real key is understanding, okay, so if it just completely wipes out, it's gonna at least hold at that 280 mark. So then you can really determine your what I call ultimate risk, which is like the stock completely going against you in the trade. And so that's why I said that $3 spot is going to be more of an interesting spot for you to get in there. It went up there, 315s, next candle, 320s, pulls back near that 9 EMA, guys. That's why I use the 9 EMA, guys, especially for longs. It helps me a lot determine better entries. And just like now, it's getting to a 9 EMA spot around 320s. You could have got long there in the 320s. Off of right there, right underneath of it, 319. It shouldn't go underneath there. So that's why you get those nice risk to reward trades. That's why I follow the 9 EMA, and you always want to know the ultimate bottom. The ultimate bottom, the last support right here. The ultimate bottom could possibly drop down to 305.
Somebody in the chat mentioning DVAX heading up to the VWAP, Mitch. Like I said, I'd be very, very careful just because the volume is so low. But it does look like a VWAP test. But it's just the volume is so low with this one that any significant position that a trader takes is going to fluctuate this stock in a big way. As long as the float is somewhat small, but it may not be. It may be a higher float stock. But the volume, regardless, especially if it's a high float stock, if it has no volume and the float's big, you know, the momentum's just not going to be there. But we'll see. It bounced off the VWAP once. What do you think about that, Mitch? DVAX?
I think you're dead on, man. That's why I didn't interrupt you. That's perfect. You're dead on in your approach and your idea. That's why I said I like the chart, but I'm not trading this yet, guys. I only like it because at that $14 mark, we got 129,000 volume to come in. So what I need to see in this trade for me to even get interested is it breaking that 14 again with huge volume. That means that there's a big shorter in this, and I start trying to make money off of him.
Yeah, GBR.
It's like a piggyback play.
Right.
That's the only way you get into this kind of play. It's knowing that there's a bigger trader in there that's in your direction.
Yep, yep.
So if I didn't see this crack 14 with another, at least at the very minimum, half of that volume candle, so 60,000 shares, then I wouldn't even take a look at it.
Look at HMNY.
RES. It's starting to get a little bit more interesting to me as it's hung around. And I think this definitely is going to end the day down there at 1320s. It's just a matter of when does it want to crack. That's the hard part to judge in the afternoon, guys, is that you get a lot of fake outs. So afternoon play is very, very dangerous. Have to be tight.
Look at
All right, guys, for GBR, I say if you would want, this is not a bad area. You have to risk off at 320, but it's not a bad area to maybe get this spike back up to 340s and through the 340s.
Somebody mentioning AWX, and yeah, they're right. Look at AWX starting to spike here, back up to the VWAP area. We'll see if it can close above the VWAP. I think it may have already. And HMNY, same thing. Look at HMNY, Mitch. I do want to say we are not investment professionals. We're not liable for any losses you take. You always have to make your own assessment of the market and trade responsibly. We don't give investment advice for profit, and everything you do in trading is completely at your own risk. So just want to say that for liability reasons. But yeah, anything we tell you guys, anything Mitch calls out or I call out, it's all just our opinion. Obviously, the stocks could always go the opposing way, and so you always got to be careful and trade accordingly, you know. But look at HMNY here, spiking up to that VWAP. What do you think about that one?
HMMY.
Yeah.
It's one of those plays that guys, I just don't see an edge in. It's one of those plays that you can just take risk in your account. I think you should only take risk in your account when you're up on the week.
Right.
If you determine this is more of a just going to be off of level 2s. You're not going to really get an edge on this kind of pattern, guys. It's way too crowded. Too many people looking at it both ways. You can take trades off that VWAP. The real key is learning that this is the kind of trade that there's no true edge to. The only way you're going to trade it is off level 2s and price action. So you got to know your risk and reward, set up, make sure that you're setting up at least for a 3-to-1, and then that way you can go ahead and take advantage.
BABY, baby. Low volume. Yeah, volume's low. I could see some shorts coming in under 35.50, but the volume's a little low at this point. Kind of FCAU. I mean, this is kind of my style of VWAP fade, though, Mitch. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but that's it right there. A lot of VWAP fades today.
I hope everybody respected that for that 320 on GBR. As you see, it didn't bounce there. It just came through it.
This is
You
the
gotta
big
understand the support there, guys. Whenever you take your risks long, understand that the support should be your exit. Don't let it crack through it. If you want to hold 1 cent underneath of it, that's fine. But you got to set your order probably a couple cents underneath just in case you get a slippage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm noticing a lot of stocks starting to spike up at this point. HMNY, what's else? HM. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what happened, guys. My internet disconnected for a second. I think I'm back, though. Weird.
If you want.
And you know you're consistently profitable after a large pool of data, not just a month. You want to be consistently profitable for months and months in trading. And once you finally see that you're consistently profitable, then you may be able to take your shot. But what you don't want to do is, if you're not consistently profitable, and especially if you've never traded before, you don't want to quit your job and start trading, because trading is tough. You know, regardless of how easy other people make it look, trading is extremely hard. It generally takes, you know, at least a year to become good at least. And it takes a lot of time. And so you want to make sure, if you are giving it that shot, to not necessarily make plans around it unless you're actually consistently profitable. You know, because if not, you know, it's really tough. It seems easy. It's really not, you know.
Without a doubt.
But yeah, guys, I'm probably going to close the stream down now. There's not too much going on. A few different setups, but not bad volume today. Hopefully we get some more volume back tomorrow. If you haven't already, I day trade live on stream every weekday morning, so hit the subscribe button if you want to see that tomorrow morning. Same time as always, 8:45 a.m. market time. Also, if you want to do me a favor, you appreciate this free content, and you want to help support this channel, click the like button right now on this video. Yeah, Mitch, you want to say anything, brother?
Nah, man, I'm just really happy, guys, that we're trying to really stick to our strategy, guys. Like I always say, you shouldn't determine your green days and red days off of the money you make, but the strategies you trade and the execution that you have. A lot of times we try to base our green and red days off of just money. And what I've seen, if you really want to be a consistent trader, it's not about money, guys. It's about trading the right setups, the right execution over and over and over again. And that's how you become profitable. It's not about just having the, in Spanish words, the cojones, or to take big sizing and just win on one trade. Because if you take that same trade over and over again, let's say even 10 times, you probably aren't going to win profitably. I do want to start taking some bigger sizing and taking some bigger trades, but
For sure.
the real key, guys, is going to be the right setups, taking profits on the move down, and volume. Volume at the open is very, very important, guys. If we're not getting that wash, we shouldn't be looking for that VWAP fade.
Right.
I saw a very interesting entry there for RES again. We've gotten that move up above VWAP. You got to move back above VWAP. I was looking for 1363s there. I'm just gonna more watch this trade now. It was the interesting price for me, was 1363s. So I'll be watching this trade just for the rest of the day, see if that was more of a good entry. Didn't take the trade, but definitely think that's a really great spot. Start learning, guys. Keep practicing. Study hard. Always review your trades. Data. Start seeing where you do good, where you do bad. Also, pay attention to time frame. One of the key things that I always see is that I definitely don't do good between, like, let's say 11 to 1 p.m. Never ever in all my trades have I done good there. That's the lunchtime chop, guys.
Yep.
Something to learn from. Where I've had made some profits in the past is after 2 p.m. So I come to the computer around 1:30. Then you can look for those moves in the afternoons. But I definitely don't think that from the 11 to about 1:30 time, it's time to be trading. It's lunchtime. A bunch of traders leave. Volume dies out. Fake outs.
Fake out city, man. Yeah, I don't even, like, every trader finds their niche. I never trade past 11. Just never do it. I don't trade. I haven't been doing well in the afternoon either. And so I just stick to what works, which is the first 30 minutes, first 30, 45 minutes. And that's it. Nothing after that. Never works out and the only time I'll do that is if I'm in a stock and I think it's like an all-day fader. And so I set my stop loss and I just kind of walk away and check back on it to see if it's an all-day fade. Most of the time it's with small sizing, but you got to find your niche. And I know that my niche is the first 30, 45 minutes, and that's it. And so anyways, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. Not a bad day for Mitch and I. A nice profitable day for both Mitch and I.
Yep.
Really looking to start taking that bigger sizing. Mitch and I worked out a plan to where I start taking some bigger swings here, some bigger shots. My max loss on the week is going to be 150, and I'm going to do it for 2 weeks. This week was the week I was planning on doing it, but I mean, I don't think anybody can really blame me. The volume has been substantially lower this week, and so I'm not going to take my risk then. And when a week like this happens, it's all about account preservation. I'm just worried about preserving my account and not losing money. And so when the volume comes back, I'm going to make those swings. Hopefully it comes back in the next few days and next week, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. Subscribe if you want to see this stream every weekday morning. And yeah, appreciate everybody watching. Have a good day, guys.